Resident Evil 2 Remake just passed its 5th year anniversary, and some would say that this is a major turning point for the Resident Evil franchise, leading us to great games such as Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Resident Evil 3 Remake? With the game hitting this massive milestone, I thought I would try something that I've done before, but I don't have a good video on it. I tried to beat Resident Evil 2 Remake on the hardcore difficulty without taking any damage and without saving the game a single time. This was also going to be done on a brand new save without any DLC or NG Plus bonuses. And to make this challenge even more difficult, I will not be using the knife whatsoever, as well as not using any defense items to escape some grabs. So any damage or any grabs from any enemy whatsoever, and I will have to start the run from the very beginning. If you want to watch the full run with just the gameplay in 4K, head on over to my Vods channel and the link will be in the description. I launched the game as Claire on the hardcore difficulty and entered the gas station, run past the zombie that eats the sheriff and grab the gas station key. I wait for the zombie to stumble out of the way, run past it and use the key on this locked door. After reaching the end of the gas station, I end up on the streets. This part is very simple, I can just run past all of the zombies, keeping my distance. Once I reach the RPD gates however, this is where the run really starts. Step 1. Using the medallions in the RPD. As soon as I enter the main hall of the RPD, I go to the right, open the shutter and crawl under it. I then run through the corridor, grab some handgun ammo from the press room and use all of my muscles to lift up this locker. Into the watchman's room I go, witnessing Elliot turning into zombie food and picking up his journal. This triggers a zombie to ambush me, but I use a cheeky strategy here. These two zombies are much weaker than the rest and can quickly be defeated with the handgun, allowing me to safely run back to the shutter, get saved by Marvin and acquire his knife. The knife is needed to unlock this box containing a lever, which opens up access to the reception once used. I run through a couple of hallways to reach the operations room. As soon as I go in, I grab some handgun ammo and yeet through the window into the west central passage. I grab the handgun ammo at the bottom of the corridor, and then there are 3 zombies that need to be slain. This can easily be done one at a time, taking pop shots with the handgun. However, one of the zombies wanted to go out in style. Taking a bit, not realising, yep. Oh! My guy's breakdancing. And he's not even dead! I deal with this sleeping zombie now, otherwise he can be a complete nuisance later on when I need to come back through this room. I solve the safe using the code 9157 and pick up the only hip pouch that I need in this entire run. The last thing that I need to do in the West office is open up Leon's desk using the codes NED and MRG and pick up one of Claire's best weapon accessories, the SLS-60 Speed Loader. This allows me to load all 5 handgun bullets into the SLS-60 at once instead of individually, making reloading in a battle much more convenient. A quick pit stop into the weapons locker room, inputting the code 109 into the machine and grabbing some more handgun bullets. I then grab the wooden boards at the bottom of the stairs, the gunpowder inside the save room, and then use the wooden boards on this window to prevent the zombie from climbing in. This also allows me to deal with the zombies upstairs without getting ambushed from behind.
What's up with you?
Whoa! What's going on with the physics today, man? They're flipping and dipping. With the stairs cleared, I can head up to the top floor, grab the all-important spade key and reach the west storage room. I grab the gunpowder and then move on to the library. I walk through the first radio call with Marvin and make sure that the Karen is well and truly dead, and pick up my first medallion of the run from the unicorn statue. I have a slightly more difficult time trying to deal with the Fatso zombie, looping him all over the library. Once he's dead however, I can move the bookshelf, grab some sneaky handgun bullets and use the spade key on the library door. I take a right, go straight down the landing and pick up some handgun ammo before solving the lion statue puzzle. Now that I have the lion medallion, I head down the stairs, talk to Marvin and use the spade key on the west office door. This will allow me to discard it straight from the inventory later, and before I progress, I put both the lion and unicorn medallions into the statue. Into the waiting room I go, unlock the safe using the code 6211, giving me the extended magazine for the JMB HP3. I use the spade key one last time, head into the arts room and pick up the weapons locker keycard. This will allow me to pick up the grenade launcher later and is going to carry me through most of the game. I witness the helicopter crash, speak to Marvin again over the radio, and pick up, once again, Resident Evil's most reliable tool, the trusty red bolt cutters. I break my way into the East office, grab a flash grenade, more handgun bullets, the valve, some white gunpowder, and the fuse. Use the fuse on the shutter and head back through the main hall, into the southwest hallway, and there are some awkward enemies that I have to deal with. Shit. Okay, this is nice though. Oh, you bastard. I'm in trouble here. I then make my way to the supply room, grab the electronic gadget and the flash grenade, before heading into the locker room one more time to grab the grenade launcher and some flame rounds. Making my way to the STARS office, I enter the men's locker room, grab some flame rounds from one locker, open the cap locker to get some more flame rounds, and then into the west hallway to get even more flame rounds. Some could say that this run is hotting up. I quickly run into the STARS office, grab the battery, another flashbang, even more flame rounds, and another white gunpowder. And because I picked up the flashbang and walked to the back of the room, the liquor will be in this position and I can safely walk past it. Heading to the top floor now, without using the ladder, because that will trigger the zombie that's devouring some arse to chase me, I head back to the storage room and use the detonator on the explosives. Head out of the room and back in quickly to stop the bookshelf from blocking the door later on. I get the last medallion and realise I had made another mistake. I put the grenade launcher in the item box and forgot to take it back out when coming to this room. Usually I would shoot the liquor once with the flame round and it's stunned long enough for me to run past it. The only option that I have now is to run past it and hope that it doesn't hit me. With all three of the medallions acquired, I head back to the main hall and use the last medallion on the statue and prepare for the first boss fight. Step 2. Defeat Birkin 1. Now that I've opened up the hidden passage and entered the secret room, I need to prepare for the upcoming boss fight. This fight is one of the more difficult parts of the game, needing to use my 6,000 hours of Dead by Daylight once again to loop Birkin around the room, taking pop shots with the handgun and the odd flame round. Get away from me! Oh, piss off! He's tombing! Bloody hell. I hate this fight so much, man. Go away from me! Leave me alone. Oh, go away. This is up there with the hardest bit of the run. Bloody hell, it just takes so long. Well, low on ammo, that's for sure, but whatever. Step 3. Gain access to the parking permit. Birkin is defeated for the first of 4 times on this run, and I'm free to plunder all of the resources in the boss arena. I grab everything apart from the healing items, climb up the ladder, use the lever, and climb up the ladder that's located in the operator's room. Once I've reached the parking lot, I click on the access panel, activating the Chief Irons cutscene, and Sherry gets taken to the orphanage. The first thing that I need to do in this new area is enter the firing range, pick up the yellow box that contains the police car key, and also some flame rounds in the actual firing range. Now I can head to the dog kennel where there are some lickers waiting to ambush me. I pick up the white gunpowder and start walking. As long as I don't sprint or fire any of my weapons, the lickers won't be a problem. Into the morgue I go, and I deal with the sleeper zombie by blasting it once with the flame round and then getting a lucky critical hit with the handgun. I grab the flash grenade and finally the diamond key before entering the kennel once again. The walk back is slightly different however. I need to walk towards this first licker, trigger it by getting close, and then walk out of the room. I touch the corner outside, walk back into the kennel, and both lickers will be stuck to the wall. And it's much safer and easier to do it this way. There's one more licker on the ceiling, but same strategy, just keep walking. Once I am safely back in the parking garage, I open up the yellow box to get the car key and press the button on the back, opening one of the police car's boots and revealing the JMB HP3, a handgun that comes with a laser sight. I use the diamond key to enter the elevator control room, pick up a white gunpowder, and activate the elevator by pulling this lever. Reaching Chief Irons' office, I run straight through it, through the stuffed tiger corridor and into the private collection room, picking up the heart key. I use it to open the locked door in the office and then deposit some of the items into the item box to make some space for the few key items that I'm going to need in the upcoming areas. Upon leaving the office, I go up the stairs, grab some wooden boards, and then head to the bottom of the stairs. I use the wooden boards on this window and then use the heart key on this door. I pick up the handgun ammo, leave the interrogation room, do a right and grab some more white gunpowder from this locker before heading back up the stairs. Into the third floor, picking up a flash grenade and some handgun bullets from their respective lockers. Onto the east storage room now, where I have to deal with a pair of very tanky zombies. Once they are taken care of, I can pick up the large gear and use the heart key on the small storage room door. I pick up the electronic part box and then head to the item box once again to make some more space. With the storage rooms conquered, I go to the rooftop and peer over the edge, finding another Karen that needs to be dispatched. I deal with her, run down the stairs and activate the pump lever. There's another zombie here, but he doesn't wake up fast enough to catch me. Up the stairs I go to activate the pump and put out the fire. I grab the handgun bullets from the bench and it's time to juice Mr. X. I spawn the gaffer in, shoot off his little hat, and bring him outside. I stand next to this red bench and I'm able to take a wide loop to avoid him. While Mr. X is chasing me, I need to go to the west office. Once inside, I need to go to the left side of the table to avoid waking up the sleeping zombie, and then start walking when I enter the central passageway. This will prevent the lickers from attacking me. I use the heart key for the final time, pick up the jack handle and a hand grenade, before waiting for Mr. X to break into the room. Once he busts down the door, I can use my DVD skills again to loop him around the shelves in the middle, walk past the lickers, and sprint as fast as I can to the library. I use the jack handle to drop the bookshelf and then move the shelves 2 times to the right. From here I can go up the ladder, enter the 3rd floor hallway and dive into the clock tower, avoiding the zombie. I repair the clock tower by putting all the gears in the correct position and pick up the electronic part. But before I leave, I head to the southwest hallway to pick up the first large gunpowder of the run. Now that I've got both the electronic parts, I head across the hallway, stun this zombie with the handgun, and then head back through the storage room. I can then finally repair the electronic box using both of the electronic parts and clicking on the parking permit. Step 4. Complete Sherry and reach the sewers. Once I've gained access to the parking garage keycard, it's time for the Sherry segment. It's a pretty slow and simple segment overall, but the important parts are that I solve this puzzle by moving box number 1 to position number 3 and turning them around so they all line up. There's not much else to this section really. I head down the stairs, activate the chief chase, back up the stairs, hide from the chief, grab the key while he's washing the acid off of his face, and then just run down the stairs. Back to Claire now, which is way more interesting. I head to the item box and start making some acid rounds, which are extremely powerful against all enemies in terms of stunning them. I also take out the JMB handgun because it's much easier to aim at longer ranges. Back to the parking lot to use the keycard, and the DBD skills come in once again, looping Mr. X on this police car. Reaching the end of the street, the way I need to go is blocked by a fence and 2 zombies. When I run towards them, they will break down the door, and I can then use the big open area to loop them along with Mr. X. Once I've reached the end of the walkway, I can use the JMB handgun to snipe the doggos from above, as well as this Karen camping the bottom of the stairs. With all of the enemies killed that have currently spawned in, I head down the stairs and onto the dumpster. A doggo tries to scare me, but it gets its cheeks clarted. Another one tries to ambush me a few seconds later, but I blast it off the top of the police car. Into the basketball court, and I start to use the acid rounds, killing the dogs in a single shot. This last dog is a little bit tricky as I ran out of handgun ammo, so I just had to run into the bus, blast the zombie with the grenade launcher, pick up the grenade, and then blast the dog camping the bus exit with the acid rounds. From here, I can safely rescue Sherry from the orphanage, run away from Mr. X, and start the sewer section. Step 5. Complete the sewers and defeat Birkin 2. When I enter the sewers, firstly and most importantly, I need to go into the office and pick up the 3 enhanced handgun ammo. This is the only chance I have to do this in the game, so if I were to forget, it would cause some problems for me later. Pushing on, I run through the dirty sewer water, climb onto some dry land, and climb up this long ladder and into the control room. I run straight to the zombie waking up, pick up the flame rounds, turn around and throw a grenade on the floor to stun the zombies. I don't grab the ammo from the locker because I'm not actually going to get the submachine gun this run. It takes way too much time and it really isn't needed. I drop down into the monitor room and deposit the JMB handgun into the box. I'm going to need all the space that I can get for the upcoming areas. I pull the lever, which pulls down the electric bridge, run across it and go to the right, opening up the safe using the code 2128. This will give me the reinforced frame and turn the SLS-60 into a mini Magnum. I go across to the other side of the room to grab the T-shaped tool and then start heading down the stairs. I'm greeted by 2 zombies, but my old age is catching up to me. Oh my days, man, so shit. Usually I would kill this sleeping zombie with the Magnum as well, but I have plenty of acid rounds and I'll need some of the Magnum rounds later. I open the grate by using this lever, drop into the water and do a left, picking up a cheeky hand grenade. I turn around and just run past the spawning G-Adult. As long as I stick to the left and keep running forward, it will never be able to hit me. I use the tool to open this door and grab the enhanced ammo off the barrel on the left. Head up the elevator and clot this sleeping zombie with the Magnum. I then need to quickly run to the rook plug, pull it out of the socket and run away as fast as possible to stop the zombie wearing the high-vis vest from grabbing me. Back down the elevator I go, and thankfully the G-Adult has moved to the other tunnel. I can then head back to the monitor room and use the item box to deposit any items that will not be needed for the second part of the sewers. I use the tool once again to gain access to the lower waterway and head down the ladder, and it's time to take down some of the big boys. The G-Adults are generally pretty easy as Claire, stunning them in place on every shot and dealing chip damage for the length of time that they are burning in the flames. There's 3 G-Adults currently in this section, but I only need to kill 2 of them. Entering the supply storage room, I pick up the queen plug and use it to gain access to the other gate. There is a zombie hanging over the edge, which I kill with the Magnum, preventing it from ambushing me later, and I'm now safe to solve the puzzle in the room, not forgetting to grab the all-important spark shot. Re-entering the lower waterway, there's 1 G-Adult lurking around, but eventually it will sink into the water, and if I'm fast enough, I can squeeze past it before it wakes up. One last Geodolt to deal with. Pretty simple once again. I just climb onto the dry part of the land, wait for the chieftain to grab, and then jump off. Once I climb the ladder, I can head back to the monitor room, solve the chess puzzle, and prepare myself for the Birkin 2 boss fight. This fight is pretty awkward and can go pear-shaped pretty quickly. Once I solve the switch puzzle, I run towards the door to spawn Birkin, and then I just stand in this location. Standing here will prevent Birkin from hitting me in this room.
Have I got a surprise for you?
Step 6. Gain access to the testing lab. I enter the final area of the game, the lab. I drop Sherry off into the security room, pick up the flame rounds, do a bit of inventory management, and head through the cafeteria, picking up a hand grenade and some spark shots ammo. I climb the ladder into the vent, drop down into the kitchen, grab a large gunpowder, and then start playing the waiting game with the most awkward zombie in the entire game, the armored zombie in the next corridor.
I ain't moving, bruv. I ain't going anywhere. Nah-uh. Nah-uh. Oh! Oh!
Okay, I may have lied. With that zombie dispatched, I head into the nap room, upgrading the wristband, grabbing some more flame rounds, and the spark shot attachment, which is absolutely vital for the Birkin 3 boss fight. I can then head to the main shaft, unlock the level 2 area of the lab, and reach the lobby, grabbing some gunpowder and doing some more inventory stuff. Into the specimen room I go, grabbing a white gunpowder, and encountering my first Ivy. I implement an unusual strategy to defeat this Ivy. I use 2 acid rounds to deal a lot of damage to it, and then finish it off with a single flame round. This method saves me a single flame round, and I'm gonna need every flame round I can get to kill the rest of the Ivies. Entering the control room, I grab a flash grenade and input the codes 3123 and 2067, unlocking all of the appropriate doors before grabbing the dispersal cartridge. The greenhouse has many Ivies, but I opt to deal with them later and head straight for the drug testing lab. I solve the puzzle very quickly, and that will give me the filled dispersal cartridge. I can then grab a hand grenade and a large gunpowder before re-entering the greenhouse. Now I decide to deal with the Ivies, using a combination of both acid rounds and flame rounds. Entering the lounge, I kill the 3 sleeping zombies with 3 magnum bullets, and then run down the hallway. A licker spawns in front of me, but I can stun it long enough for the flame round to just run past it. You'll see Claire wiping the flames off her body, but don't worry, this does not deal damage. If you've got any doubts, you can test it for yourself. Entering the stairwell, I kill 2 more zombies with my last 2 magnum bullets before reaching the top floor, grabbing another white gunpowder and the signal modulator. Heading back to the lounge, the licker that I stunned with the flame round was still alive, along with his new friend. I walk towards the corner where I need to use the signal modulator, input the right code, and walk back down the hallway. And for once, the lickers were actually very nice to me here. Very simple and very easy. I reached the testing lab where I can make the herbicide, and I also wanted to grab the gunpowder, but I didn't have any space. So I quickly ran some calculations in my head, and I figured that the gunpowder wasn't actually necessary. So I then head to the newly unlocked server room, grab some flame rounds and another white gunpowder before sorting out my inventory. Just before I climb up the ladder to the greenhouse, I grab another large gunpowder. I can then run into the control room safely since I killed the ivies earlier and deposit the herbicide. Going back into the greenhouse a final time, some ivies have spawned. I take them out with the flame rounds before I grab the level 3 wristband, so I can just run straight out of here once I've picked it up. I dodge the ivy in the control room and stun the ivy in the specimen room with the grenade launcher. I can now access the testing lab with the new wristband, pick up a hand grenade from the deceased soldier, solve the signal modulator puzzle, and head to the P4 testing lab, where I prepare for the Birkin 3 boss fight. Step 7. Defeat Birkin 3. With my inventory prepared as best as it could be, I charge into the Birkin 3 boss fight. For phase 1, I use the spark shot to blow up the 3 eyes in a specific order, pulling off a nice AI manipulation to get Birkin to show me the eye on his back. While he is down, I wait for him to get up so that his HP will be set to around 60% and spend the time waiting, collecting some ammo from the boss arena. Phase 2 is pretty similar, but because he is much faster, I need to use a combination of acid rounds and flash grenades to keep him stunned while using the spark shot to destroy the eyes. Once he's downed for the second time, the fight is basically over. Once he's thrown down part of the wall in anger, I can just stunlock Birkin with the acid rounds, and he'll eventually burn to death. With Birkin 3 defeated, I salvage any of the necessary resources from the boss arena before heading back to Sherry. Step 8. Defeat Birkin 4. With Sherry now saved, I take her down the central elevator, through the escape shaft and past the IVs in the pump room. Down the long ladder I go, click on the door to get Sherry to open it, and I'm ambushed by some more IVs. Oh, if that's done me, then I would have been dead. Uh-oh. Sniffers in the chats, boys. Sniffers in the chats. Have this, you jammy dodger. Rah! 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 Done. Oh. I did say it was kind of easy, didn't I? S plus as well. Easy clap. Oh, that was Resident Evil 2 Remake. Claire A. On hardcore difficulty. No saves. No damage.